Good morning, everyone. Oh, I have some tired eyes today, but it is Saturday and I have one hell of a week ahead of me. I'm actually really excited about it, but I'm trying to get myself as organized as possible. I am doing so many incredible things. I actually just when, I don't want to be too gushy and, Lydia-esque, but there's some really lovely things happening next week, and they're things that I'm like, wow, I never would have thought that these things would be happening. So yeah, when I feel like this, I always just want to get myself a little bit organized, and so I've kind of been doing that for the most part of the day. Also, my hair, it might look a little bit disheveled, but Carrie is the only person in my life that can do a French braid like this, and it is one of those hairstyles that I genuinely wish I could have in my hair. Whenever I'm in the garden or at home, I love this as a hairstyle, and so she did it for me and I've slept in it, and I'm just still not prepared to let it go yet, and I'm also not prepared to phone her and ask her to do it for me and come over here and do it again. So we've just got a few little sprouts. But also there's something happening where I live today that I've never been able to attend. We've lived here 6 years and we've never been able to go to this. Well, I say we, Ali is playing golf. Basically they have this choir voices thing that happens at Stately Home near where we live, and I think I might be able to pop over there today and actually go for the first time, which is incredibly exciting for me. You know that my musical taste is a little bit different and I have always felt so sad that I haven't been able to attend it. It's put on by some of our neighbours, and I'm hoping that I'm going to be able to pay on the door. But it's just one of those things that I love, community efforts, and the fact that this is the first time in 6 years that I'm actually here and able to go. And I also thought that I wasn't going to be able to go because I actually thought it was the weekend when we were at a wedding. So it's just all worked out perfectly, to be perfectly honest with you. It's all just perfect. I've also got a gentleman here who's basically just getting all of the rubble and the last bits and pieces from downstairs into the skip. So it's all go. But basically next week I am going to London to record a podcast, and it's a podcast that is a little bit different for me anyway, and you'll know I talk about this a lot. I don't often do podcasts. I feel like over the last few years I've been really lucky to have been invited on some very lovely podcasts. But for me, the main thing that I have to think about before I do it is what is the value that I'm adding when I'm doing it. That's just my own personal mission. I'm just trying to do a good thing, and so I try not to, I don't want it to get too self-indulgent. I want it to be one of those things that hopefully good things come from it. And this one in particular is niche, but I could not say no. First of all, it was an honour to be asked, but second of all, it's one of those things that I hope that through my journey with being an amateur at something, it will inspire others and get people to get out and do it themselves. Basically, I'm going on Jenny Faulkner's podcast called Run Pod, and it's basically a podcast surrounded. It's basically a podcast where it's designed that runners will listen to it when they're running, but she doesn't just have professional runners, despite the fact that Adele Roberts was very recently on the podcast, and when I saw that I was instant imposter syndrome. But it's not just that. It's not just for the people that are potentially looking for tips on how to get faster, better at running. It's also for the people that are hoping to potentially get into running. I am someone who, I'm not even all the gear and no idea, because I don't even have running trainers. I am running in my APLs at the moment, which is definitely not a good thing, and that is something that I will be looking to change. But I am someone who is very slow. I find the speed that I move at very entertaining. Many other people find it very entertaining, and that doesn't stop me. I often think how funny it must be that for anyone that drives past me once, it's funny. But I hope that if anyone drives past me 3 or 4 times. They're impressed by my tenacity to keep going even though I am so slow. But I don't necessarily, for me, running isn't about running. It isn't about being the best at running. It isn't about being a professional. It isn't about improvement and moving forward. For me, it's very much about how it makes me feel and connecting with the dots that I've noticed from being outside and running, completing a run, the feeling that I feel and that kind of thing. And so hopefully I'll have some information and some nuggets to share on this. I'm very, 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 very grateful to Jenny for inviting me on. Feels super surreal. And I'm looking forward to that. And then we also have, which is one of those things where I was like always a real pinch me moment, is we're going for a day with Purdy, shooting clays at a country estate in Reading, near Reading. And it looks to be a very, very beautiful day, very Saltburn-esque. And it's one of those brands that I think that you often don't set out thinking that you will ever get the opportunity to even build relations with them, because when I started in this industry, it was like, you know, only the big brands were really working in the space, or the innovative brands like Gymshark, who built their entire business model around influencers, or Triangle, those kinds of brands. So it wasn't really the done thing, and especially these really traditional, almost institutions of British heritage, like James Purdy and Son. You don't ever expect for this to come about. And so as always, I want you guys to know, I never take it for granted, just so you know. So we've got a really jam-packed and fun-filled and very much a good vlog. But today is a bit of a chilled one, and I'm getting things organised. My first thing on my list is I'm swapping over to a new toiletries bag, because my previous bag, the handle snapped off and the zip broke. No, the zip broke. And I wanted to try something new. So this is my previous bag, and I get this from Amazon. And by the way, I'm working with Amazon on this video, and there are amazing deals on Amazon at the moment, on the 16th and the 17th. I have an Amazon storefront now, so hopefully all of the things I ever mention that are from Amazon are curated there. The girls and I are really working hard to build that out into something that you can go and look back on and shop from and find really interesting but helpful things as well. But this is my previous wash bag, and I loved this so much, but I have decided to change, just because I've broken the zip on it, and I have to say that my clutter being available for everyone to see, I don't know what I think it's because it's easy to find things in, but at the same time, I fancied a change because this main pocket has now broken. This will be on my Amazon storefront, but it will also be linked down below. So if you want to do some shopping on Amazon for some savings and bits and pieces like that, my eye drops, you can get multi-packs on there, all of the things that you think that you don't realise you need all of the time, but it's just a great place to order them from, you'll find them on there. I swapped it out for this cutie patootie. So this is my new one, and this actually comes as a set of 3. It's like a quilted little floral number. Now, first of all, looks so much better in my bathroom. So actually, I'm using this a lot more as storage on my sink. I actually bought this for traveling, but what I'm actually using this as is like an everyday toiletries bag, to keep my side of the sink tidy, because Ali's side of the sink is very tidy and mine isn't. And because this goes in the bathroom and it looks really pretty, it's quite like a sort of country, delicate floral design like this. I can just shove all of my face washes, creams, what have yous that I use on a regular basis in here, zip it up, and then Ali doesn't have to see it, and it looks so much tidier on here. So I thought I would give this a little bit of a shout out in my little Amazon mentions, but as I said, it'll be on my storefront. And I'm going to give my side of the sink a tidy up and start decanting everything into here. So this is the moment of change in my bathroom, okay? It also has this little pocket, so I keep like any medicine bits and pieces in here, and supplement things. Also my little supplement holder, Amazon as well. So those all go in here, in this top part, so it doesn't disrupt anything else. I always steal these little packets of cotton pads from hotel rooms because they're so good for traveling with. And then in the main part, I can pop all of this stuff that I keep on my side that doesn't need to be on show all of the time. And I can put away absolutely everything else that doesn't need to be out. Well, that definitely looks better than all of the clutter that I had there before. And I definitely think it suits the room in terms of like the patterns, but there's loads of different patterns as well available in this style. And I just think it's so cute. And it's just one of those toiletries bags that's so easy to use. You just unzip, open it up, and it all just kind of falls open, which I love. So very happy. I thought I'd show you one of my other favourite Amazon finds, which I've been looking for ways to display my hats. Not all of them, but some of the ones that I think would look lovely in my dressing room. And this one from Emily London is one of my favourite hats. It's one of the first ones that I ever like spent a lot of money on. And I wanted to have it displayed in here because I think it looks lovely, and also it's quite delicate. And I found these really, really lovely hat stands that are on Amazon. They are wooden. They just look so lovely and really go with the vibe. But you don't have to put fancy hats on it. Perhaps you've got a husband that likes, you know, a bit of a trilby of some sorts, or just needs something to display his hats on or keep them. Maybe he's got one nice summer hat or something like that. Then I thought that that was really lovely. I thought these would be good for Ali's wardrobe as well, but he doesn't really have as many hats as I do. He's probably got one vintage top hat. But for mine, and especially my Emily London one, which was getting battered in my wardrobe, and it just kind of makes a feature out of some of my hats. I don't have all of them on display, but I do have this one, and I think it looks really lovely. I also found this. Now this is gold, not real gold. This is a dupe for the Tiffany & Co. Elsa Peretti, like really statement, almost molten bangle design. I think they have like silver ones as well, but I'm more of a gold person. And I just wanted to try it out as something a little bit different for summer. It's a very statement cuff. Now these have been a piece that have been on Tiffany & Co. for a very, very long time, but they've definitely come into fashion a lot more recently. So I'm always a bit reluctant with these things, but I know that there are a lot of cool girls that will love this kind of thing that follows me, lots of fashion girlies. And I think that you'll love this as like a summer cuff because it's very statement, but still very minimal and got that quite clean aesthetic. Just to show you it with my very uncool girl outfit that I'm wearing today, this is kind of what it looks like. But I think if you had like a really elaborate dress on or something like that, this would look really nice. So I wanted to show you that because it is like literally £4, and I think it'll look really beautiful styled up. I'm mid sorting out my dressing room as well, and I just put a hole in my belt, which made me think of another thing that is very good to buy from Amazon. It is a hole punch for your belt, because if you are like me and you want to have different sort of belt, I want to be able to wear this belt on my hips and on my waist. And so being able to put my own belt loops into belts is so blooming handy. So I've just done that, and now it looks so much better on me. But I'm going to head over to the stately home now, because I have been hearing the most lovely, almost like opera being sung over the wall, and I can't wait. I am back from the concert and we've decided, what you can't see is a very grumpy, tired Mr. Millen standing off camera in a t-shirt that says Chicken Pupper.
One of your
subscribers sent in.
It's lovely. Fits the dream.
Why don't you show them? I'll show them. Chicken Pupper. We're firing up the barbecue and getting some meat and some corn on the cobs on there. I am in charge of homemade chips and veg for the barbecue, but until that's heated up, I'm not going to start working on them. This little linen pinafore like apron is one of my favourites. This is also from Amazon. I hope it's still on there because I bought it a good about a year ago, I think, but it's one of those ones that's like cross back, so it's perfect if you're someone that's got if you're someone that lives in the countryside and you're constantly like in and out of the house doing the chickens at the kitchen garden, that kind of thing. I love it because I love being able to like wipe my muddy hands on things, and so this is one of my favourite finds, especially in this colour as well, this oatmeal colour. It looks really nice over clothes. So yeah, anyway, the temperature's dropped a little bit outside, so I've put my cardigan on. But I'm going to go and water my greenhouse and see what needs to start sort of like either being, if there's anything for harvesting or the like. So let's head down there. I have to be honest, it's been wet recently and I haven't really been down to the kitchen garden that much. Ali is just firing up the big green egg, but we have some new wildflowers in our wildflower lawn. This looks incredible. They're so pretty. I hope we get more of them so that I actually feel like I can pick them. Wow. This little contraption is such a constant source of joy. Just always finding my little snippers here. If I need to tie anything up, it is so easy. And it's all just kind of like set up, ready to go. This is another Amazon find and it's brilliant. This is cast iron as well. And these little snippers I use to collect my sweet peas. Anything that's not too like meaty, I use these for. And we have a considerable amount of sweet peas ready to go on this one. So I'm gonna have a big snip and put them into a vase. Good morning, everyone. It is Wednesday, and today I have been gifted with, if you cannot tell, a very swollen eye, and also, I don't know if you'll be able to see, but 2 very meaty bruises from my riding boots. So it's a very tactical outfit today. We are hair down to hopefully detract from said swollen eye. I have also tried to cover it up, but I think I've done, can you tell which one it is? It's this one. And then the dress is obviously hiding the bruises. I'm heading into London today. It is the most bizarre weather day, so I've had to pack like a hairband so that I can tie my hair up. And I have had to, what else have I had to do? I need to pack some energy balls so that I can take them with me. Taking some energy balls with me so that I've got something to eat. I actually haven't taken my supplements this morning, so I don't know if I can try and at least, I'll just get my L-glutamine down really quickly. But I also have meetings and then a celebratory like sort of lunch with Karen Millen, which is very exciting. And it's just the most bizarre weather day because it's boiling hot, but it is also wet. It's these kind of days that I would generally be curled up on the sofa working on my laptop. Now, can we get this done super quick? Also, pro tip, if you use reusable straws, in the dishwasher, give them a clean with the little brush, because it can be very, very gross in there. It's not nice. Okay, let's get this down in one. Charlotte liked my shoes too. She messaged me when she saw them. She was like, oh my god, I'm instantly buying those shoes. I wasn't sure on them to begin with.
It just adds a bit of interest.
Oh gosh, I think it's going to be a run to the toilets and put my hair up type of day. This weather, that's why my hair has been up all of the time, because nothing survives this weather. I'm also not going to moan about the taxi rank, because I feel like there is a segment within my vlogs at the moment where I moan about the taxi rank at Euston, and I'm not doing it.
I will.
Yeah.
40 minutes.
But we are heading to our first stop of the day, which is Global Headquarters. That's our first stop. Then we've got a meeting afterwards, and then lunch. The happiest. It's uncanny. I've just realised this is the home of LBC, and I am now fangirling so hard. You have no idea. Like, we make the dogs listen to LBC. We always say that they get really argumentative after they listen to LBC. It's one of my favourites.
These are our
I'll just go in here, thanks.
they're our meeting rooms.
Oh right. I was just sitting there then.
So that's the meeting room.
Hi there. Nice to meet you.
So nice to meet you.
How are you doing?
He's just got back from Portugal. Like, he honestly just non-stop plays. It's,
really?
Yeah, I've had to get myself a hobby just to match, because otherwise I'm just sat at home like,
Yeah,
oh.
well, my husband took up golf because he felt like that the other way around.
I love, maybe there's something in
Yeah,
it.
that's
Maybe I
it.
need to try it.
Yeah, no, you've got to. I hope I get a credit for it. Anyway, we have done a lovely, lovely episode of Run Pod. You will enjoy it. Make sure you listen. And it's out now.
I'm on Run Pod. Yes, you would never know it, but I was. And no, it's really lovely because they, it's obviously an episode about not being, thank you so much, Carrie, for getting that. Yeah, it's, you wouldn't expect me to be on a podcast about running, but that is Jenny's entire approach, is that she'll have the people that are obviously the athletes, the competitors, the marathon runners, but she'll also have the people that maybe just do it for different reasons and maybe wouldn't consider themselves a runner, because I definitely don't consider myself a runner. I'm just someone who enjoys running and being very slow. But she was so lovely, and I completely forgot that she actually did a golf day at Wentworth with Ali, and yeah, I can just mind blown. What a day. Casually doing a podcast with Jenny Faulkner, no biggie, at Global Player. Like, what on earth? When I walked past the Classic FM meeting room, I actually felt my knees go weak. I was like, Alid? We just went for tea with Nars at the Corinthia, and I was just, I don't know what it is about Hannah, but I just feel like we're always just like gaggles of girls together, just me, just chatting the whole time, and I didn't show you anything.
I love her energy.
Oh, I know, she's so, always, like, ever since I did my first trip with her, she's just the loveliest person. I love hearing all of her stories as well. But we are now off to Bacchanalia, which I've never been before. But also we're around Parliament, and I just walked into the back end of a story that Carrie was telling Hannah, and she told me she would tell me in the taxi. So you have to share this one with us because I'm very interested to hear about it.
So this is not a political channel, but I'm sure the world is aware that the UK has just had a general election and our Prime Minister has changed. And when a Prime Minister changes and Parliament changes, there is a whole handing over process, which is kind of done with the King's speech, which is next week. And our Parliament is, now I might get this a little bit wrong, but the gist of it is we have all our MPs, which are the individual members of Parliament that represent each area of the country, and they are the ones that we vote in for our local areas. But the laws of the country are made in the House of Lords, and historically, like 100, 200, I don't know how many years ago, for the King's speech, which is when he opens Parliament with the House of Lords and welcomes in all the new MPs, historically the Lords didn't want to be associated with the commoners, being the MPs of the people of lower classes from different areas around the country. And so when Parliament opened, the MPs would show up and the Lords would slam the doors in their face. And then there is a role within Parliament called Blackrod, who is for the first time a female at the moment.
Oh wow!
I know.
Love that.
Yeah, we love that for her. And Blackrod has a huge rod, and historically Blackrod had to knock 3 times using the rod, and to this day there is a huge dent. You can Google it. There is a dent of the door of Parliament where Blackrod knocks. 3 knocks, and the Lords come to this little hole in the door and say, "What do you want?" And Blackrod says, "We are here to request an audience with the King," and they open the doors for the commoners to be allowed in with the Lords, ready for the King's speech to open Parliament. And they still do that now, and that's happening next week. So that's what.
So is that like now it's more of a tradition?
Yes.
Rather than, because what I'm fascinated by is it didn't matter that they knew that they were going to come, or was it because you can request an audience with the King and they have to facilitate that? Because why were they allowed in just because they'd knocked?
I think historically it was one of those things where they just didn't want to be associated, or to keep the King away from. I'm guessing this bit.
Where did you hear about this?
Callum was telling me about it.
Oh right, okay.
He reads up on all this stuff.
I'll have to ask Callum, because I'm fascinated to understand why didn't they just not answer the door?
But it's one of those things that's now like the tradition of,
yes.
of that.
So
that
they
period.
still, it's like almost like a ceremony now.
Yes,
yeah,
and
yeah.
they still shut the doors on the faces of the new MPs coming in, and Blackrod has to request the audience for the King's speech.
I love that. It's all of these things that it's why I love like the history of this country so much. And there's so much that I do not know, and that is as someone that didn't love history at school. I hadn't found any kind of interest in it. There are so many little pockets of intrigue and interest and weird little quirks in our history, because it's just so vast, our history.
But I think that's why people like Britain so much and travel here, because there is still so much tradition and pomp and circumstance around so many of our ceremonies and events, and even silly things like Horse Guards Parade, when it's the changing of the guards.
Yeah.
I don't know how many other countries would have that kind of ceremony on like a daily basis that you can go and watch. This like formal thing. Which reminds me, have you watched the James Blunt documentary?
Yes, yeah, I have.
Because he used to be a horse.
Yeah, I did watch that.
Documentary.
It is a good documentary. It's not one of the best documentaries, but I really liked it because he wasn't, even though he has actually been given a really tough time, it was very much not, he was just sort of like, he still just got on with it, and I really valued that. And I think that you didn't like, it was sweet hearing about how it affected him, and also just like, I just like that he's a bit posh.
Yeah.
but also his humour, some of the stuff that he's...
Oh, I remember when I used to have Twitter, even those days, like following James Blunt is the gift that keeps on giving.
Yeah.
He is just so savagely
Yeah.
witty.
Oh yeah. Some of the things that there was one that he said on the interview, and I was like, oh my gosh, yeah, that one was savage. But he's just really self-deprecating with it as well, and I love that. But yeah, anyway, we are on our way to Bacchanalia now, and we are meeting the Karen Millen team for a little bit of a toast and a celebration of the collections, how everything's gone, and just giving ourselves a bit of a pat on the back, which I think is really important as a team, that we do that, because we all work together, having like almost being like thrust together, and we've had to learn how each other works and learn processes and fill different roles and do different things that maybe we hadn't done before. And so I think it's always important that we have a bit of a good time with that. So that is where we're heading next. I know we talk about the weather so much here in England, but I feel like you don't understand how optimistic we are as a nation, because this is the level that we go to give summer vibes in London and in England, because there is zero sign of summer at the moment, but yet we have a whole beach. This is so lovely. This is at Hedonism Wines, and they've got a rosé hut. I'm guessing they have little setups of different wines to try, but this is fantastic. Got a little ice cream stand there. Oh, but anyway, we're heading to Bacchanalia, which is just here on Mount Street.
Heatwave where it's like 38 degrees for like... Yes, I remember. Yeah. And then one day it got to like 39.
Yes, that was it, yeah.
Like 39, 40 degrees. Yes.
Oh my gosh. I am back home from London and already in my pyjamas, ready to take off my makeup, but very, very full-on day in London, and probably, I'm just not even going to say that I was a terrible blogger, because that's just a given. I think I excel at home and sharing all of the loveliness from home, and I'm not so good in London. But I keep the only thing, and I would say that this is such a counterproductive thing, but on the podcast I have to like be honest about something, and I'm just, oh, now I'm dreading it coming out. I was so like quietly confident with it, but the thing is I went on and I looked and I was like, oh, they do record it. Okay, so it's a recorded podcast, and but when I got there, it was very different from when I did Grace Beverley's. Grace Beverley's was like, it was almost like there was like a camera crew kind of setup, but there wasn't that many people, but it was just like a camera crew setup. And so it was very evident that they were filming. There was a screen set up, like I could see myself, Grace could see herself. It was very like evident. And we went into the room, a very different room, very different experience. Like it's it's a real production there. And so I can see that there's like 5 different cameras, like these tiny little almost like webcams in front of me. Not in front of me, but like on the wall. But when Jenny started talking, she wasn't like looking at the cameras in any way. So I was like, oh, maybe they're not recording. And then when we're in the interview, I said something about what I was wearing, and she said, just to let you know, Lydia's wearing a white dress. And I'm like, oh no, maybe they're not filming it then. And I've relaxed, and I've like let my posture slip, and Claire, I could only apologise to my Pilates instructor now. I'm mortified. I just think I was so comfortable in the environment, and talking to Jenny was just so lovely that I was like, oh, we're not being filmed, that's lovely, I can just sort of sit back and not worry about anything. And it was being filmed. I'm mortified. But anyway, I'm not going to beat myself up over it. You live and you learn, Lydia. Maybe I should have just asked the question. I think that's it. But I have just got home to a very happy husband, because England has just won 2-1, so that's good. But we're about to go to bed. because in the morning we are off for an afternoon with Purdy. So I need to get some sleep and jump into bed and snuggle down with all of my family. So I will see you guys in the morning. I am fully procrastinating when I absolutely shouldn't be, because Ali and I are off to Englefield Estate today with the Purdy team, and I get to wear my fabulous outfit that I tried on in my previous vlog. It's the wool shooting vest and breeks, my first ever pair of breeks, and when I tell you that I think those are going to be my equivalent of jogging bottoms for autumn winter, I mean it. First and foremost, they are designed so that they perfectly fit into your boots, so dewberries, your Fairfax and Favours, what have you, perfectly designed so that you don't get any bulk and you still get the comfort of wearing trousers. You then also have the sort of blouson effect, which I love with trousers. Not everyone loves it, but I love it, where they're sort of bunched up at your hips, so loose and so comfortable, and fully lined as well, which means perfect for dog walks. In fact, I'm staggered that I don't see more people wearing them, but you know me, I love the traditional approach, so I'm so happy to have my first pair and then have my shooting vest as well for occasions when Ali and I shoot. As with everything, I like to make these things super clear and also just make sure you guys are informed, because there are a lot of country pursuits that Ali and I enjoy, and this is one of them that really, like, at every opportunity, whenever we're traveling, we take up the opportunity to partake in this particular country pursuit. And this one is with one of the brands that is essentially the front runner when it comes to sporting outfitting. And we're going to be doing that with Purdy, and they are pretty much the most iconic British sporting brand of them all. Some of their pieces are truly works of art, made from the finest wools, cashmere, and it's one of those British brands that I really love to champion. And what we're going to be doing with them today is heading to Englefield Estate, which is a privately owned, spectacularly kept estate in the English countryside, and we're going to be there completely exclusively, and you're going to be getting an exclusive look. But what they do there is they run one of Purdy's shooting schools there, and when I say shooting, what I'm referring to is the shooting of clay discs. Now in England we used to call them clay pigeon shooting. I found that really confusing, but they are clay discs. They're like little almost like mini frisbees, and how it works is they are fired up into the air, and essentially whoever shoots it gets the score. So it is a disc and it isn't an animal, and I always like to make that incredibly clear. For me personally, I don't judge anyone on the decisions that they make when it comes to country pursuits. Just with regards to Ali and I, we shoot the discs, and that's what we're going to be doing today on the trip with Purdy. I should also mention that what we're going to be doing with Purdy is an Olympic sport as well. So if you've watched the Olympics, you have watched this sport being played and performed. It is in the Olympics coming up. It will be in the Olympics moving forward. It is one of those things that is also part of British history, and it is one of those things that's quite intrinsically linked with like British heritage. So it's sort of something that I think probably here in England we are very much used to and aware of, but perhaps in places abroad it may not be so widely known. So I always like to make sure that you guys are as informed as humanly possible. And it is also performed under strict supervision. So you'll notice that we are not at any stage firing without a very experienced instructor by our side, and he does not leave us. We will also be wearing protective PPE. This is a private estate, so nobody will be walking the grounds, and everything will be controlled to the highest standard, just so that your minds are at rest and at ease on these things, because it is something that I have shared quite often. We shared it when we went to Slosh Roxburgh recently. Obviously we've gone on a trip with Purdy previously. We also have done things with Creed fragrances when we stayed at Hound Lodge at Goodwood. So we've done this many times on this channel, but I always like to make sure that you guys know the facts, that you know that we're doing so under really, really strict guidance, instructors, and with the highest level of protection. We've got to wear caps because often clays fall. We have to have either glasses or sunglasses on to protect our eyes. We often have padding on our shoulders, and we have our instructor, who is always the most experienced of them all, to make sure that we are doing so properly and carefully and responsibly. So I always want to make sure that you guys know that we're taking things very, very seriously. I hope that you're going to enjoy a look at the Purdy collection, which is also going to be launching today. So if you wanted to shop my outfit that you've seen previously, or any of the pieces that I show you throughout this, I will pop a link in the description box down below. But other than that, let's get going. I need to get into my outfit. I'm so excited to wear this, despite it being literally the hottest day so far. If I said one thing, I was like, let's just hope it's not so warm on the day that I have to wear this. And lo and behold, it is the warmest day so far. Morning, the sun is shining, and today was one of the few days that I didn't want the sun to shine, because I am in pretty much a full wool tweed outfit and it's very warm, but we're just going to make it work. Ali is driving. We're on our way to Reading, where we are going to be doing a simulation shoot with clays with Purdy. So a day out in the countryside shooting clays, which is going to be good fun. 19 degrees and it's 9:20. We are just arriving. Look at these horses. Oh my goodness. Hello. Hello, beautiful. We've arrived to the spread. Bacon sandwiches, croissants, all of the drinks in the most wonderful setting.
It's a great gun. Yeah. It's really well made. I shoot a 20 bore as well.
We've just arrived where we're going to park. Now we're ready to head out. It's beautiful.
Ready to go.
Ready to go.
Have you got a hat?
Oh yeah, so I need this, yeah?
Yeah,
I have. It's in the car. Do you want me to grab it now?
Yeah, please, yeah. So we all need ears, eyes, particularly the eyes, and caps. Just to these bits to think about, even if you're a voyeur. Perfect. So when you're ready, your instructors know what peg you're on. If they don't, they'll have a sneaky ask with me.
We just have you with a trial. So that there didn't properly close. I just pushed it in. Is that okay? That's fine, yeah. Okay.
So we are shooting a Purdy side by side, which is a first for both of us. Well, it has turned out to be the warmest day ever. So the shooting vest is definitely off. What did you say?
Cellular.
Cellular. Oh, thank you. So I did get one on the simulation shoot, and that's one more than I thought I would get. So progress is progress, people. I don't know if you remember when I did the last Purdy shoot, I got the duck of shame, and I'm determined not to get the duck of shame today. But also, if I get it twice in a row, then I need to go for like a hat trick or something and go down maybe in Purdy records as the worst shooter ever. But I'm actually good when there's no pressure on me. This is what I've realised about all of these things. When I'm just enjoying myself and, you know, not worrying about anything, I'm usually quite good. We're moving on to the second place that we're gonna shoot next.
Is this your daily attire? Is this how you roll around? Tweedmaster.
Quite used to it.
Yeah. I think we should just power it back.
Yeah.
Just bring it back.
Oh, I would love that. I would absolutely love that.
Well, again,
Oh, how lovely!
Yeah, sweet. I have to say, these trees look perfect for bee swarms.
Ah, we are arriving in for 11.
And they are, of course, nibbled up to the height of whatever's needed.
the next one, I think they've got 1 a week, 2 weeks, 4 weeks.
Oh yes, we're still shooting.
Let's go ginger to start with.
Yummy.
I don't believe so.
Sorry, say again. That's it unknown, please. Well shot, everybody. I'm not sure. Lady. Yes, yeah.
Wrong team.
Well shot.
It's been good, hasn't it? Oh, this? Yes, car. Yeah, it's yours, yeah? Yeah, it is. Yeah. No, so happy.
And we have finished up for lunch, and this is the setup for, now that we finished shooting, having a proper sit down lunch. We've had 11s, and look at the attention to detail. Wow. Oh, the flowers, everything is stunning. I have to show you some of the stunning interiors of Englefield Estate. They love a bookcase as much as I do, to be honest, and their books are unbelievable, absolutely unbelievable. So many stunning antiques. You know what I'm like when I come to places like this. I almost forget myself. I get so excited. This is actually a family-owned estate as well, so they're not here often, but my goodness me, imagine Christmas here. What a treat. And all of the artwork, and here in the drawing room, everyone is enjoying the new autumn-winter Purdy collection, which is what I'm wearing at the moment. If there's one thing that I love, it is the knitwear from Purdy. This is such a gorgeous wearable piece. They also have the cashmere poncho, which, oh, so stunning. And then we have the more sort of country clothing over here, and this jacket. Oh, what style of jacket is this again?
It looks like a
Norfolk.
It's not a Norfolk. It's got lines down the front of it.
Ah.
Have lines.
I desperately want this.
It could be a safari with that. Field jacket has pockets, but this could make it a safari.
Thank you everyone for coming. I wanted to say thank you to Englefield for hosting us today. I also wanted to say thank you to all of our instructors. And you know, the idea of this experience was to give you a 360 experience of the brand. So the gardens, the shooting school, and the clothing. We're launching our autumn-winter collection, as I said, on Monday. And we will be announcing our new creative director also on next week. So keep tuned. And now to the prizes.
Oh gosh.
Okay. Sorry, I busted in on that one. So thank you very much for coming here to Lord Bennion's estate. It is, you know, nice and tidy estate and everything like that. We had some trappers sending out lots of clays and that sort of thing. I hope they did the right thing. But down to the competition. So as we know, somebody's going to win the surprise prize is a bottle of Bollinger to go with the cap for the winning team. So the first team that went in, their geese were particularly tricky. So we altered it for the others. So I have given you some extra points. The slightly tough bit of that is it means you don't get a prize. Because you came third. So well done, excellent work. So a round of applause for the third team. We had it particularly hard. So then we're going to do the fourth team last, because I think it's all about the fluffy pheasant really, not the Bollinger. So it is between team 4 and team 2 as to who wins the Bollinger and the Top Gun hat that you have to walk around London with it back to front. So basically Dan, Toby, Brandon and Lydia, you shot really, really well. but Ali, Ed, Hannah and Simon win the hat and the
Sometimes. I was like, oh!
What was the points difference? Just up here.
It was mind-blowingly close.
How close?
So that's yours there. I don't know if anyone wants to do a tea photo. Simon's not here. He's outside having it on the phone call.
You have to put the champagne out.
Yeah, champagne spray. Ali. Look at Ali.
I think you'll know that I didn't contribute.
Team morale.
So I think I've actually made it obvious who's won the fluffy ducks. Basically, Tommy, Callie, Ben and Paula.
I didn't get the fluffy duck.
They're not even ducks, they're feathers, so I'm sorry.
Tommy. No? Oh. Yeah. Tommy. I'm so sorry.
Well done, everybody.
Yeah.
And then one final prize. So we have sorry to keep you, one final prize. We have a big bottle of Bolly. That is for the most improved. And this was on a VAR. And everything. So basically, James Aiken, you are. Perfect. Well done. Don't open it in there. Don't open it.
Yay!
Right. Thank you very much. It's straight through now for lunch.
Good evening, everyone. We have just got home from our shoot day with Purdy, and I think both Ali and I are a little bit pooped. It was very, very warm today, the perfect weather, and it was just wonderful. Early morning, day out in nature. I feel like a day out in nature is just like a day at the beach, you know, when you're like, I am so tired and all I've done is like laid on a beach. But that's basically how we feel right now. We've just been driving home because we drove there and back, and just chatting away in the car. But I thought I'd show you some of the things that I got. It was a wonderful day, probably one of the most like beautiful day brand trips I think I've done. And I was just actually thinking to myself how interesting and unbelievable it is that we are now doing trips like that with brands as, you know, as special as Purdy. They have such a rich history and they are such an iconic British brand. But when we started blogging, you would never have imagined that you would ever be doing anything with brands like that. And then when even bringing that forward to when Ali and I really looked at what we were doing online and where we wanted to work and how we wanted to do things and what we championed, even then we didn't really think that we'd be doing things like that with Purdy. And so today was really, really special. So I thought I'd show you some of the bits and pieces that I got. First and foremost, my hat of dreams, because we have the burgundy ones from when we went to the Royal Berkshire shooting school. That was our first time doing anything with Purdy. And then when they pulled out the green, oh, I was so happy. I will wear this so much. And Ali got one as well. You actually got a top shooter one, didn't you?
Well, and my bottle of Bollinger.
Yeah, so Ali's team actually won. It was close. It was weird though, because we were across like pretty much every team nearly.
Yeah, we were destined to win.
Except for the team that lost. Because
yes.
there was two players that had to shoot twice. Yeah. And so both Ali and I shot twice. So Ali shot for 2 different teams and I shot for 2 different teams. And one of my teams, I think it was rigged. But at least I didn't get the fluffy pheasant this time. But Ali's team won. Apparently it was really close between one of our teams, like both of our teams. But we were also on a team together, which was so weird. But he got a bottle of Bollinger and a blue hat that says like top shot or top shotter or something like that on the back. But I'm not jealous because this is the hat that I want, in all honesty. And then we had a really, really lovely gift bag, but in all honesty, I think I was about this pin.
Bosch.
Yeah, show them oh, Top Gun, that's it, not Top Shot. Oh my gosh, you've got all of them.
Yeah, I've got all of those these days.
Yeah, so this is Ali's collection of Purdy caps.
I took the burgundy one with me.
Yeah, that's from, this is one we were saying about the Royal Berkshire, and then this is the one that we got given today, and then this is his winning cap, Top Gun. You're gonna love wearing that, aren't you?
Which, I have to be honest, my shooting was not the best today.
Babe, everybody walked up to you and said how incredible you are at shooting. He's so modest. But this was the thing I was really excited about. This is a little gun cartridge pin, so you can like pin it to your blouse, or you can pin it to your tweed, whatever it is that you want. So I was really excited about that, to be honest. And we also got a Bollinger notepad, which very, very nice. There's something else in here. I didn't see this. It's a pen. Oh wow, a Bollinger pen. I feel like I need to give this to Bolly though. Because it says, oh, I have to give this to Carrie because it says Bollinger on it and Bolly's name is Bollinger. Very lovely pen. And then the other thing that we were given, by the way, I think some of you are going to love autumn winter at Purdy. I was very, very tempted to steal some things off the rack, but I knew I'd get into trouble if I did that. But there is an incredible safari jacket. Unbelievable. I think that is really going to be my autumn style personified this year. And if you thought that last year had a lot of tartan and tweed, you are not going to know what has hit you when it comes to my wardrobe. But one of the things I have wanted to purchase from Purdy for a long time is their silk scarves, and I was so overjoyed to receive what is kind of like a sort of, it's like a green basically, but it's like a soft muddy green, and then it's piped with a slightly darker green as well. Now the thing I love about these is they do them in a big size and a smaller size as well, so really good for, this will be great for like winter, and they're not as opulent as like a vintage Hermes. They're a bit more understated. The patterns are quite pared back, so it doesn't necessarily feel so regal. Does that make sense? And then the little ones I think look lovely, but the photographer that was on this trip, immediately I went onto her Instagram and I checked her stuff out, and my goodness, her photography is absolutely incredible. She just recently shot Christy Turlington, and I believe it was her daughter, in the most like romantic, like old England style shoot. It was actually a trip that she did with Carolina Herrera, and oh my goodness, these images, I can't believe I haven't seen them on Pinterest. They need to be on Pinterest. It was an instant follow for me because he's here, such an amazing photographer, and just the whole day was unbelievable. The estate that we were shooting on, it's so interesting because I don't think I've ever been, well I probably have, but it's such a well-kept estate with rolling fields and land, but just beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And it was a real treat to be there because it is a private residence. So really lovely day, incredible food, incredible company, so many wonderful people to chat to as well. I really love trips like that because Ali and I were there, and there was our friend Tommy, who also does a little bit of like influencer stuff, and then there was another influencer who's kind of like a adventure type influencer, and the rest was press. But for me, getting to speak to the people that are working in press is my favourite thing. They are the most interesting people to chat to. We're talking to Brandon from The Rake. I also met Paula from Country Life. It was unbelievable, so wonderful to chat to them as well, and just I love that, where you've got so many diverse pockets of people that you're meeting. It was such a wonderful day, it really was. Are we going for a dog walk?
And then you'll make it move towards that then?
Well, I was doing an unboxing. I need to just take my supplements because obviously I spoke to you about my eyes. I have ordered some supplements to try and help with things. My sty has gone down. I've been doing a hot compress and popping pseudocreme on it, and it seems to work really well. And so I've picked up some supplements. So apparently these ones came really well reviewed. my Nutrisorb Methyl B12, but I also have Nutrisorb D3 and K2. I believe the K2 enables your body to absorb it. And then I also have a female multi-nutrient. Apparently these were really well reviewed online, and so I'm hoping that they're gonna help just a little bit. Obviously I've been very active, so I have to remember that I've been very active. So if I am feeling a bit tired, that could be why. And I am going on a hike tomorrow after spending the whole day on the fields today. So I need to just, you know, add 2 days of horse riding, Pilates, and a run, and a dog walk. 3 capsules taken daily with food. 2 at breakfast, 1 at lunch. Interesting. I don't know if I'll remember to do that, but we shall see. This one I haven't opened. So this is B12. 6 drops under your tongue. Obviously I'm not very good at swallowing tablets, so this is my preferred. And now we are going to get ready for a dog walk. Ali and I were about to go to sleep. I was about to finish this vlog here. However, we've been having some issues at the house, whereby we keep finding bats in our house. If you don't know, we have bat boxes built into our house. I have told you this before. That was part of the requirements. Because I'm 100% sure it's in it. Oh gosh, okay. I was just getting into bed and this little guy, oh my goodness me, decided to, oh, go on, off you go, little one. Oh, is he okay?
Yeah, I'm just going to give him a little hand with the box.
So anyway, we've been noticing that we've got a few more bats coming into our house this year. And so we actually had the, what's it called? The bat? Just the Bat Association or something like that. We had them at our house on Friday because we've been noticing that we've been having a few more in our house. So whilst we know we have the bat boxes in our house, we did what we were supposed to do and we called the bat people out, and they've come and basically assessed the house. They've also taught us a little bit about the bats. But basically, if you have bats in your house, or if they are found in your house, generally bats never leave their roost, or they always return to the same roost. So if you remove the roost, like knock down the house or what have you, those bats lose their home and they often die. So it's one of those things that it's very difficult because bats are protected. Like, they probably have the highest protection, I think, of all animals in the UK. I'm not too sure. So anyway, the gentleman came out on Friday and basically let us know that they're generally only here for a few months of the year, but also that the bats that we've got are not anything to worry about. They're little tiny ones. And so now that Ali has been told that they are okay and these bats are fine, I can almost tell in his voice that he's like different with them and he now is like protecting them. So this little one just shuffled down the wall and I was like, babe, there's a bat coming into the house. And he's only like this big, like he saw as a baby, because apparently the grey ones are babies. And so Ali is attempting to help the bat get back up into the bat box at the moment. So yes, we've been learning a lot about our creatures that live in our house, and I'll take you upstairs one day because at this time of the year there is like a party in our roof. If you're in my dressing room. In my dressing room, you can hear them all like scurrying around and it's a lot. And so, yeah, but it is just for a short amount of time. It does get very, very hot in the roof. And I think when it gets to a certain temperature, they tend to sort of go elsewhere, maybe into the trees, I don't know. But all 4 of our bat boxes are home to bats, which I think is really lovely, but I just don't want them in my bedroom. That's the only thing. Anyway, he is outside now, so I can go to bed. You can see Nature Boy outside.
Ran all the way home.
Did he?
Yeah, just all the way back. There's hundreds of them.
Yeah.
Like just pinging around up there.
Did he fly? Did he fly?
No, he's crawled all the way back.
Up the wall?
Yeah, he's crawling.
Wow.
Yeah, you can't watch him now.
No, thank you. I'm ready to go to bed.
I think it's a baby, because if they're a light grey colour, it's when they're younger, and they get dark as they get a bit older, that particular species.
Oh. All right, chicken papa.
I've got the Batman with me.
I know, I've been telling them.
Batman now.
But also how your attitude towards them has changed since the bat guy has been
He
in.
picked the poo up and just stuffed it in his hand like he didn't care, and I was thinking, oh my god, that's got to be like diseases all over that, and he just didn't care.
Yeah,
Very chilled.
apparently the bats that we've got are fine, so.
Don't get me wrong, I don't want to wake up with a bat.
No.
It's like a spider. Like,
Yeah.
a spider's not going to kill you. Well, the spiders in this country that you lose your head over aren't going to do anything. And if a spider was able to bite you, again, it's so small, it's quite insignificant, but it doesn't stop you feeling like.
Yeah, I don't need to share a bedroom.
And I'm like,
Yeah. I don't need to share a bed with it, or a bedroom with it, but.
Tonight I've got a feeling we're going to go.
Do you think?
The problem is half of them, because they just can't fly, so they just land on you.
Oh, okay.
So, well, you just saw, if he did about 2 laps of the room and just went,
Yeah.
and then he went to fly out there. I held him up at the height of the porch. He flew, took up, went like that, started going up, and then just landed on the Aston.
It's got good taste.
And then he just went down onto the ground and just crawled all the way along the drive, all the way back to where they are.
Yeah, because they send out those funny signals, don't they?
Yeah, they're like.
Yeah.
Apparently, they only do it every 15 seconds or so. So when they're flying through,
Yeah.
they can
Gauge the
ping,
distance.
But they don't do it constantly.
No.
But when they get close to an insect, apparently they go, and it's almost like a vibration. It's so quick.
Wow.
And they nip it. 'Cause all they eat is insects,
Yeah.
and they really like eating human toes at night.
Oh, shush. As you can hear, this little Batman thinks that something is going on without him. Get in your bed. Get in your bed. Barkley just doesn't care. You're fine, Porter. Calm down. Calm down, my love. You're fine. I know, it all perturbs you a little bit when something happens. You're fine. You're fine. All right, all right, all right. This one just doesn't care. Does not